I have the experience of being in my head most of the time. I had recently in acting class, I want to be a professional actor, and my teacher asked me to sing my lines, trying to get me to be playful and to even do my scene as a dance. And I halfway got there, but not fully. And I just want to get past that somehow. Because I used to be the person that pulled people out on the dance floor, not the person that had to be pulled on the dance floor, if that makes sense.
So would you describe yourself as being self-conscious?
Yes. Right now, yes.
I had a hard time getting you to come up here even a little bit. It's like you wanted to, and yet you were still holding back a little bit.
Yes.
Even though you were fairly certain we were pointing at you.
Yes.
Being self-conscious, the component that is the most significant in being self-conscious is not trusting the opinion or perspective of others who are looking at you. And life can kind of train you into that, because not everyone who is holding you as their object of attention is tuned into source energy. Not everyone is wobble free. And for some reason, when somebody holds you in their gaze, or when you are the object of their attention, somehow almost all of you seem to take that very personally, when usually the way they're behaving toward you has very little to do with you. It has everything to do with how they're doing, with where they are in terms of wobbling, with what's going on with them. And then as they're giving you their attention, their response to you is more about what's going on with them than it is about what's going on with you. We're just trying to help all of you out in this self-consciousness thing. In other words, if you don't trust the way others will feel about you, that's really normal, because you can't control what anybody else is doing vibrationally. And the sooner you give that up, the happier that you're going to be, because they're sort of uncontrollable. And a lot of them are wobbling, and a lot of them are not in alignment. And so you have to make that not important to you. It's part of those conditions that we are wanting all of you to sort of leave aside and not let be important. So if that's not important, what is important? Your relationship with the source within you, who adores you, who knows your talent, who knows your ability, who knows your fun, who knows your timing. And so it's really about the preparation that you've made before you get there for your class, or the preparation that you've made before you get there to interact in whatever it is that you're doing, than it is once you get there. Because once you get there, it's sort of kind of too late, because you've already set the tone of it. If you show up self-conscious, it's pretty hard to be distracted out of that self-consciousness.
Yes.
If a writer has written a really good scenario, and the people who are playing with it, the directors or the actors, are understanding who the characters are, then it's easy for you to just let loose and be who they are. Be whoever your character is. But you sort of have to practice that a little bit. What is it about acting that appeals to you?
I love to play characters that will say all the things that other people won't say in a room.
So you think that by being a pretend character that you can be more real?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can mask your own self-consciousness. What kind of things, as a person or as a character, would you like to say that you wouldn't say otherwise? What kind of things do you think need to be said that you're holding back from?
Just being able to be close to somebody, to express a closeness to somebody, or to oh wow, that's a great question.
Do you think it's to eliminate your concern about their response and just say what you mean? Because what we can feel from you is that what you're really wanting in all of this, what you're really wanting is alignment, and therefore clarity, and therefore power, and therefore the ability to present yourself as you mean to be presented. What you're really saying, and a lot of you can feel it too, can't you, with this conversation, You know how if you haven't really tended to what you've got going on, and you just sort of stumble or show up in an environment where there are others who are strong-willed or clear about what they're saying, have you noticed how sometimes they evoke from you what you didn't mean to be evoked? For example, they might evoke shyness from you, or they might evoke self-consciousness from you, or they might even evoke anger from you, or they might evoke pity. And so what all of you are wanting is to be stable in your own vibration and not to be controlled by what's going on with others. It's really a wonderful conversation we're having here, because we're approaching it from a way that we have not approached it before. Jerry and Esther met a woman some years ago who was teaching languages to people. And she said that she had found, or was part of, a really good system, because she found that children could learn new languages easily, but adults were very slow to learn the language, the new language. And so they assigned them all different personas. They gave them different names, they gave them different backgrounds, they gave them different living conditions, they taught them a character that was new to them, and everyone in the group accepted them as the new character. Whenever they would come to class, they were that new person, not the person that they had originally been when they signed up. And those people learned the new language ever so much more quickly, because they left behind all their wobbles. They left behind all their negative expectations. And so that's kind of what you're talking about too. Playing the part. This character doesn't wobble in this way. This character hasn't had that background. This character hasn't been molded in this way. But we want you to understand that that's sort of what we're talking about by finding this wobble-free perspective. You are recreating your persona by deliberately syncing up with who you really are and how the source within you really knows you to be. Who you really are, how you really are, what you really know, what you really want. It's the same conversation that we're having, isn't it?
Yes.
Really interesting. So, wouldn't you like to rework your character? Sometimes actors will say, Abraham, I'm concerned because I'm playing the part of this crazy person, or I'm playing the part of a depressed person, or I'm playing the part of a dysfunctional person, and I'm worried that if I play the part really well, will it negatively affect my vibration? And we say, yeah. We say it could, but there's a difference between being typecast because you are a dysfunctional person and so you've been chosen for this role, and being an actor who can play that part, who is confident enough to get the part. It's the way you really feel that matters, you see. So wouldn't you like to enter into the inquiry process, to the presenting of yourself process, as someone who's just confident and knows that you can play any part, and not be playing the part because you're trying to cover something else up? Yeah. And we think there's a lot of that already present within you. So we'll just ask you again, why do you want to be an actor?
I want to tell powerful stories about people persevering and having real dreams. Like movies have always inspired me in that way, and going to show the theater has always inspired me. I'm from a small town called Flippin in Arkansas, and so I'm from a very small town, and so going to movies is like my outlet with, you know, my father and my family. And then I discovered that I could be on a stage and have something to say to my peers, and then I realized, oh well, there's actually people that, like, these people making these movies are making a living, you know. And then I moved to Austin, and it was actual possibility for me. So that's kind of a long-winded answer. I'm sorry.
It was a perfect answer, and it's a perfect vibrational answer for what you're feeling. In this conversation about wobble-free, you get the idea of that. All of you are understanding that. So let's tell that story in a wobble-free way. And let's start at the beginning and be as wobble-free as we can be as we move forward. So I really like the idea of having something to say. Now, is there a wobble in there already? Sort of, kind of. Because it's almost like I'm trying to overcome something by doing this. So I finally found an outlet where I can really say what I mean to say. Well, there's wobble all over the place in that. So let's see if we can find something about this acting that is wobble-free. So I was delighted with movies when I was a young girl. That's wobble-free, isn't it? Love movies. Love the possibility in movies. That's wobble-free. Love messages that are being told in movies. Love how if a picture is worth 1,000 words, what must a motion picture be worth? To present something with sight and sound. Movies are such a wonderful way to convey things that really matter. Still wobble-free, isn't it?
That's great. People
People lining up with that seem happy in their process. Still feel wobble-free to you? A lot of people make a good living at this. For the most part, wobble-free. We can't feel anything. So now you begin talking to us a little bit about acting, and let's feel when the wobble comes, because this really is the work, isn't it? You go forward till you feel the wobble, and then you back up. Now, we could leave the subject altogether and you could focus upon other things that aren't wobbling, but this is the thing that you want to do. This is the thing that you want to talk about. This is the thing that is wobbling, and so let's just make it wobble-free if we can.
Okay.
So you start this time. What is it about making movies? What is it about being an actor that is appealing to you?
Full self-expression.
Full self-expression. Now, is there any wobble in that? There's wobble in that, in the full self-expression, but you can say that better. You can say that and feel that better. So try to say it in a way that it doesn't wobble.
I get to tell stories.
Less wobbly.
I get to introduce inspiration into people's homes.
Pretty good. Not too much wobble there. Here's an idea. Is it fun?
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh. It's fun. I'm pretty good at it.
Yes.
So keep talking. I really want to do this because
I really want to do this because it's fun, because I get to be who I am in several settings and in lots of different environments. I can learn new skills and master them by throwing myself into different characters and different roles.
Now that's pretty good. That's pretty wobble-free. In other words, that's pretty cut and dried, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm getting better and better at it. I can feel myself getting better at it. Expansion always feels good. I love learning new things. It's really fun to learn. It's really fun to have an idea and execute it. I get to be up close to people who are also good at it, who can guide me a little bit. I can feel myself honing my craft and getting better at it. I really like the whole idea of it. Now, all that's wobble-free. So now you talk a little.
I get to be creative, and I get to collaborate creatively with people.
Ooh, I love co-creating. I love co-creating with others. I love all of us getting into our characters and then responding to each other from that point. I love feeling the mastermind of that. I love the whole creative, collaborative experience of us all getting together and doing this. Now, can you feel how far it has departed from, it gives me a chance to do stuff I wasn't able to do before? Can you feel how you've left that behind? Can you feel how you've left behind? Because when we go back to it, you can feel how much distance there is from now I get to speak my mind and I've never been allowed to do that before. Can you feel how you've left that behind? Just with that much attention to a subject, with the interest of being wobble-free, you've accomplished that. Isn't it fun? Wouldn't you like to be the actor in your own life? Wouldn't you like to play the part of someone fantastically rich or incredibly intuitive or really in touch with who you really are, really living life the way you mean to, having fun at every turn, uplifting those with whom you interact, meeting them in a place where you can uplift them? Now that's what we really heard you saying. What we really heard you saying is, there are a lot of people out there that want to feel better and don't have a path. And I want to be part of a process that lights up within them something that makes them feel better for just a little while and helps them practice a vibration that will leave them in a better place than when they came in. That's what we heard you say. Yeah, go do that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.